So over the last month, Valve devs have seemingly returned to CS2 in full force, releasing 1 to 3 updates a week, sometimes even in quick succession. Following the Spring Forward update and the introduction of weekly missions, many mysterious new game file leaks have been popping up out of nowhere for CS2, and the majority of the player base is now considering this to be future content for the Counter-Strike franchise. First, we had missions, which was initially just a game file leak back in the limited test following, well, the release of CS2. Now that's officially in the game as its own thing with the Mission Possible update, just minus the co-op part, similar to Operations, which that even is still very possible. Then as of recently on social media, we had Valve officially acknowledge mod usage on CS2, and then just as of recently following the Mission Possible update, a mysterious game file known as Ancient Night has been found in the game files, and that specifically has left a lot of players wondering what's next and if Night Maps will be coming to official CS2 servers soon. Today's video, we have a bunch to discuss. We're going to break down the possibility of Night Maps coming soon to the Counter-Strike franchise, which the idea of this, as we will discuss in today's commentary, is becoming more and more real and is also growing by the day. I would like to give a huge thank you to Skins Monkey for sponsoring today's video. Skins Monkey is a buying and trading marketplace where you can replace your old skins for something shiny. To start a trade, it's as simple as to click the skins you no longer want and grab the new skins you want to obtain. If you need to top up your balance, you can use my code MANDO for an additional 35% deposit bonus, as well as you can also get up to a free $5. With Skins Monkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. Be sure to check them out in the top link in the description down below. Now, firstly for today's video is the breakdown of Night Maps inside CS2 and where this idea began. Well, 2 weeks ago, after digging through the game files, we saw that Ancient Night was found, and after some more time has passed, us, the players, have discovered more related strings as time has moved forward with this. Now, to state the obvious, Night Maps are not specifically new to the Counter-Strike franchise, but they are somewhat new to modern-day Counter-Strike, especially the Counter-Strike we know and love today, that being CS2, especially on Valve official servers. That's not a mod, some sort of cheat, or something from the workshop. I mean, some of the older Counter-Strike games did have the ability to use night vision, but I don't see that coming to CS2 anytime soon. Now, Night Maps have been asked from the player base for near the last 5 years, especially in Operations or themed events that could benefit deeply from them. One of the biggest requests is having some sort of dark themed map for Halloween, which originally we did have that with Cobblestone back in 2018, but CS2 has yet to see any of this yet. Now, for me, what's the most interesting about all of this, especially to do with Night Maps, is following the release of the Austin Major stickers and Viewer Pass, players quickly discovered, which was right after these leaks for the Night Maps, well, came out, that CS2 devs purposely added the ability for paper stickers to now glow in the dark. Now, why would they do that after purposely revealing in the game files that Night Maps are there and possibly could be coming? Not to mention, I also want to throw this in here, Valve stopped the ability for us, the players, to really dig into the game files before anything comes out, meaning DPR updates are no longer really a thing. All we can see is what Valve lets us see with any update and every update that comes out now, and even that is, well, somewhat censored. So they meant for us to see that. It's just a question of why. Either this is all just a major coincidence, or Valve just loves to troll the community, but in my personal opinion, I think it's more of a tease. As most players know, there's next to no dark areas or maps inside CS2, aside from Train, which was added post-launch. Not to mention as well that most of CS2's maps, because of the Source 2 engine, Valve made the sun 3 times more light, so unless they made a map specifically for night, this ability is pretty hard to spot. So why would the devs put in all this work for it not to be really seen in game, aside from a few certain areas and certain maps? It just doesn't make any sense. But where it does make sense is they're most likely making way for some sort of night map, maybe mode, just different alternatives to play, something around the lines of that to be added to CS2. Not to mention, this would also be a really cheap way for a lot of people to still have their skins, their stickers, and for those to be seen on this new map. Maybe it's a different mode, I'm not sure. Now, with that being said, if Valve does add night maps to CS2, how would they work? Would they replace normal lit maps with the sun out? Would they just change the skybox? Would this be a choice depending on the mode you play, or would this be how it is all across the board? Well, for starters, other games like Call of Duty in the past have released the same map with different dynamic weather, kind of similar to what we have on a Train in CS2, and of course also make the map in different times of day with a different skybox. But then the difference is Activision labels that as a new map, and in my opinion, Valve is not Activision, so I don't think that would happen, nor would they ever do this. Night maps, if they do come to CS2, in my opinion, will only take place in certain modes like Arms Race, Deathmatch, maybe Wingman, and the new fun game modes they most likely will add, such as Flying Scoutsman. If in the off chance these maps do take place in a mode like Premier, then it would definitely be up to the players for what they want to vote for. Not to mention, these could also be saved for possible missions related to the armory or some sort of co-op mission, kind of to spice things up. As it stands for what we can expect in these maps, like Ancient, as we've just found in the game files, yes, we have shown some footage of various maps in the background throughout today's video, but here's a more detailed look. Any map that's in the competitive map pool for CS2, someone has remade it on the CS2 workshop with the night version. Sometimes you can also even find maps with dynamic weather, such as Nuke, as seen here. Now, some of these maps, such as in Inferno are absolutely beautiful, and I'd love to see them inside CS2. I think they would really spice things up for gameplay, the competitive side of things, but for some people would also just give them a brand new feel to CS2. Yes, it's only visual, but so are skins, and they sometimes really spice up the game, depending on obviously what you get. And because Counter-Strike has had technically themed events in the past with different maps, such as competitive Cobblestone, well, being in Halloween, who's to say they can't have maps going forward with different dynamic weather or themed events like Halloween Cobblestone in the future? At the end of the day, the devs have laid the groundwork, so it's up to them if they want to release these or not, based on how much work they've already put into this, and that most of these maps are also already on the workshop for them to somehow work off of. I don't see why these can't be coming anytime soon. But with the recent leaks and these recent updates, not to mention the effect where Austin paper stickers now glow in the dark, I don't see in any way how these won't be coming to the game anytime soon. As we do also know some sort of big update is also coming after the Austin Major, since the devs are planning to change the map pool with their recent purchase of DE_cash. Now, what do you guys think, and are you guys excited? Leave your thoughts and comments for what night map you want to see the most inside CS2. Ladies and gentlemen, Fallout.